of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
Now we begin the English language transmission from Pyongyang, the capital of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
성업 janitor 김일순. 통일의 성업 제너럴 김중일. Respected Kim Jong-un, First Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea, First Chairman of the National Defense Commission of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, and Supreme Commander of the Korean People's Army, together with a match between the Galmegi team and the JB team. Enjoying the match together with him were senior officials of the party and army. When respected Supreme Commander Kim Jong-un came out to the grandstand, the players and spectators enthusiastically welcomed him, raising cheers of hurrah. The JB team defeated the Galmegi team 4-2 in the match held amid the seesaw battle of the players of the two teams. After the match was over, respected Supreme Commander Kim Jong-un warmly stormed cheers again and congratulated the players on their successful match. He said, for developing sports, it is important to often organize football match and other games and increase social concern for sports. He put forward important tasks which would serve as a guideline for epoch-making development of the sports of the country. The Indian Preparatory Committee for celebrating the Day of the Sun was inaugurated in New Delhi on April the 1st. Present at the inaugural ceremony were personages of the Indian National Congress Party, the National Council of the Communist Party of India, the Communist Party of India, Marxist, the All India Forward Bloc, the Revolutionary Socialist Party of India, the Indian National Congress, the All India Indo-Korean Friendship Association, the Indian Society for the Study of Works of Kim Jong-il, Delhi University, and the Asian Regional Institute of the Choti Idea. The Preparatory Committee decided to organize a meeting, seminar, lecture, and various other events on the occasion of the birthday of the great leader President Kim Il-sung. Seminars on the exploits of the great leader President Kim Il-sung were held in Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, and Italy between March 21st and 31st on the occasion of the Day of the Sun, his birth anniversary. Present at the seminars were political and speak means life in the minds of humankind forever for his great exploits for the Korean Revolution and the World Revolution. Though he passed away, his exploits will be model, they stressed. The Chongsan Cooperative Farm in Gangso District, Nampo City is getting great profits from mushroom cultivation. The farm is cultivating a lot of mushrooms in a greenhouse of thousands of square meters and in tens of greenhouses built in the threshing grounds of the work teams. In response to the party policy on encouraging the mushroom cultivation, sports and substrate by themselves, and as a result, more than 50 families harvested over 200 kilograms of mushroom on an average from September last year to March this year. The farm has harvested 60 tons of mushrooms over the past 7 months. A girl worker left the hospital after resuscitation thanks to the warm sincerity of medical workers of the Kaesong City People's Hospital and people. She came to life and was completely recovered only more than 100 days after she was in a critical condition due to an unexpected burn. She got burned 3 degrees in 50% of her whole body in late November last year before being carried to the hospital. In order to revive her, the hospital officials and employees, people's security men, youth and students, and other people of different sections in the city donated their blood and skin to her on several occasions, like her real brothers and sisters. An art troupe of Koreans in China and the Korean soloist in Australia and his party arrived in Pyongyang by air on the 5th to participate in the 29th April Spring Friendship Art Festival. Earlier, an art troupe of the International United Confederation of Koreans arrived. The European regional headquarters of the Pan-National Alliance for Korea's Reunification and the Society for Cooperation Among Koreans in Germany issued a joint statement on March 31st under the title, "The Japanese authorities should put an immediate end to their despicable moves for illegal sale of the Central Hall of the General Association of Korean Residents in Japan." The statement said, on March 24th last, the Japanese authorities let the Tokyo District Court make a decision on allowing the sale of the Central Hall of the General Association of Korean Residents in Japan, and continued. It is a due state obligation and unavoidable legal and moral responsibility of the Japanese authorities to ensure the rights of the victims directly related to the criminal forcible drafting of the Koreans by the Japanese imperialists in the past and the Japan resident Koreans, their descendants, and protect their property. The Japanese government should discontinue its fascist frenzy for the General Association of the Korean Residents in Japan and admit and reflect on its crimes before the world. The statement to a major committee for checking the shutdown of the South Korean newspaper Minbo issued a station of the progressive media. The statement exposed that the Seoul city authorities raised an administrative litigation against the newspaper, claiming that it does not criticize the North while quoting the news of the North as it is. The Park Geun-hye government must put an immediate end to the suppression of the Minbo, which is making efforts for national reconciliation and cooperation under the banner of independent reunification, the statement said. The South Korean internet newspaper Voice of People posted an editorial on the 3rd under the title, "The issue of drones unexpectedly brought up for discussion in the election without agenda item." The editorial said, "It is no exaggeration to say that the forthcoming June 4th local election is an election whose agenda item was missing. The political parties professing themselves to represent people do not say a word concerning the people's life, whereas the issue of drones is unexpectedly brought up for discussion in the election." Now the South Korean media explained the ladders on the unidentified drones which had crashed on the Baekmyeong Island and in parts of Gyeonggi province, linking them to the north. It reminds us of the propelling body of torpedo number 1 discovered during the Chonan worship case that happened before the June 2nd local election 4 years ago. The South Korean elections, which have been held so far, are characterized by the appearance of variable issues related to the North, such as fabrication of the North Wind, suppression of North followers, and argument on the Northern Line. On the other hand, the President of South Korea made public an open letter on April the 1st denouncing the United States for pouring cold water on the atmosphere of improvement of inter-Korean relations. A joint statement was recently made public by the Democratic Congolese National Committee for the Study of the Tutsi Idea and the Democratic Congo-Korea Friendship and Solidarity Association, and the statement by the Mount-Baekdu Czech-Korean Friendship Association in support of the statement of the National Defense Commission of the DPRK. The statement said the tragedy of territorial partition and national division has been lasting on the Korean Peninsula for nearly 70 years, and military tension and war danger are increasing day by day owing to the U.S. hostile policy toward the DPRK. They noted that the United States must retreat from Korea at once, and North-South dialogue should be encouraged to solve the eternal issue of the nation by the Korean people themselves. The MS Travel Company of Germany recently blogged an article titled Massinyong Ski Resort, along with a photograph. The article introduced the Massinyong Ski Resort, which was built under the proposal and wise leadership of respected Kim Jong-un. And that's the end of the news read by Kim Jong-il. This is Voice of Korea. The Daily Rodong Shimun of the DPRK carried a commentary on Sunday under the title Disgraceful Acts of the Missile Threateners. The commentary said, recently, the U.S. Congress is discussing a plan to appropriate a total of $37,000 million for the establishment of a missile defense system by 2019. Such a colossal sum of money is necessary to protect the U.S. forces in the U.S. mainland and overseas and their allies. What matters here is that the United States is advertising as if its move to establish a missile defense system comes from a missile threat. The U.S. Forces commander in South Korea took part in a meeting concerned with the budget issue of the U.S. Senate Armed Services Committee and said that if North Korea keeps the present speed of missile development, the missile range may reach the U.S. mainland within 10 years. The military war maniac said the cut-down of the defense budget may strike the counteraction of the U.S. forces to cope with the crisis of the Korean Peninsula and other situations. The director of the Missile Defense Agency of the U.S. Department of Defense, too, talking about our missile threat, prattled that they are establishing missile defense system to cope with it in cooperation with their allies. The United States is despicably slandering our threats with intent to justify its moves for arms build-up pursuant to the strategy of attaching importance to the Asia-Pacific region. It is a new strategy of domination of the United States to curb big powers and keep and strengthen its military supremacy in the Asia-Pacific region. We do not conceal that we are ready for both any attack and defense. If the United States truly worries about our missiles, it had better stop its hostile policy toward the DPRK and nuclear war moves. You've been listening to the commentary entitled Disgraceful Acts of the Missile Threateners, carried in the Daily Rodong Shimun of the DPRK on Sunday. This is Voice of Korea.
Now, here is a female duet in Pangcheng, our Marshal Kim Jong-un.
listeners, it is April. April the 15th is the 102nd birth anniversary of the great leader President Kim Il-sung, to be celebrated in the sweet fragrance of spring. On the occasion of the significant day of the sun, the Korean people and the world progressivists, with an ardent longing for him, warmly look back on the revolutionary life of President Kim Il-sung, who enjoyed praise of all people as the most outstanding leader and legendary great man produced in the 20th century. Now we will hear reflections sent by Australian listener Stephen Hogan to the Voice of Korea in Chapter 101 or 2012. From Mangyong Day to present day. On the eve of the 100th birth anniversary of the respected leader of the Korean people, great President Kim Il-sung, I reflect on this great man who has left an indelible mark on the world's history. President Kim Il-sung, from a very young age, pushed ahead to liberate the Korean people from the chains of Japanese colonialism and rescued his people from U.S. imperialist violence and domination. He was a great thinker and theoretician and brilliantly formed the immortal Tzuchi idea to create a new life for the struggling masses and the working class, for future development and freedom from all forms of oppression and suffering. The path of revolution began on April 15, 1912, the birth of the great leader, which takes my thoughts and reflections to beautiful Mangyong Day, where the future president was born. On one of my past calendars from Voice of Korea, then known as Radio Pyongyang, I see for myself the low-eaved thatched house and the lovely surroundings, rocks, evergreen pine trees, manicured gardens, and all nature surrounding this peaceful place, where he lived, worked, and played as a child, all the time throwing himself into the iron-willed strategist and commander of the future. The great leader's wish was to liberate the people, finally achieving this goal in 1945, never losing sight of this last home. What insight and strength he had, only 13, when beginning the road of struggle and liberation. The Tzuchi idea was the great leader's greatest contribution to the world, a social ideology which demanded independence and development. The Tzuchi idea is based on a philosophical theory that man is master of everything and decides everything. Man and his role in the world is vital to the world outlook. Men must be creative and independent and work together to achieve the highest goals in social life, make life in its many fields of achievement ensures throughout the world. The army led by the great President Kim Il-sung fought the Japanese aggressors, applying many forms of battle, such as raid, ambush, and all-out battle to defeat the Japanese aggressors. He not only defeated the might of the Japanese strongmen, but the aggression of U.S. imperialism. He beat the United States in the Korean War. What an indomitable people, the Korean people, to rebuild their country, including the beautiful capital city Pyongyang, with the hardware buildings standing because of this terrible war upon Korea. President Kim Il-sung brought the people together to bring Korea out of the ashes of war. My heart is in Korea as I reflect upon the road of development with President Kim Il-sung, carried on by dear Kim Jong-il. Voice of Korea, which carries to me daily with the warm and clear programming, remembering Korea of old and the prosperous joyous nation of today, with much work still to be done. I love the beauty of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, natural flora and fauna, cities, towns, villages, mountains, all of nature, the entire country and the immortal flowers, Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il. Also, the courageous Korean people who have suffered so much, now pushing ahead for a brighter tomorrow. heard reflections from Korean listener Stephen Hogan, sent The Voice of Korea in QT 101 or 2012. Thank you for your attention. You've been listening to our regular program, Listeners Mailbag. This is Voice of Korea.
We now present the immortal revolutionary song, Star of Korea, written by revolutionary poet Kim Hyuk, representing the unanimous respect of the Korean people for the great leader President Kim Il-sung as the son of the nation in the 1920s when the Korean Revolution started. Nigerian orchestral music, A Soldier's Wish. series of song and dance music, Song of Mangyongbaek. Now, here is a female soul in Pangchang. We are yearning for your sunny smile. the dance music, the general star beyond the clouds.
Dear listeners, with this we conclude the English language service of Voice of Korea from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Voice of Korea presents its English language service for Southeast Asia between 5 and 6 hours UTC on 13,650 kHz and 15,105 kHz, and between 10 and 11 hours UTC on 11,735 kHz and 13,650 kHz. For Middle East and Northern Africa between 16 and 17 hours UTC on 9,890 kHz and 11,645 kHz, and between 19 and 20 hours UTC on 9,875 kHz and 11,635 kHz. For Southern Africa between 19 and 20 hours UTC on 7,210 kHz and 11,910 kHz. And for Central and South Americas between 4 and 5 hours UTC on 11,735 kHz, 13,760 kHz, and 15,180 kilohertz. And between 10 and 11 hours UTC from 11,710 kilohertz and 15,180 kilohertz. Goodbye, this is Pyongyang.